If you love chocolate like I do, then you'll really want to give this a try. We'll start off by making some whipped cream. And for that, we'll use 1 cup of heavy cream. We'll add some confectioner's sugar and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, if you've ever made whipped cream before, you'll know that you got to whip this for about 2 minutes. But it's very important that you don't whip it past the point that it gets stiff, otherwise you'll end up with butter. And once you've completed that little task, you'll want to wrap this up and put it in the refrigerator while we make the rest of the ingredients for the filling. The filling is cream cheese, and I've softened that up in the microwave oven, as I often do for these type of desserts. And we're going to add some ricotta cheese. The amounts are shown in the captions and also in the description. And let us not forget the Nutella itself, which is a chocolatey sort of nut butter, and it's very good. So we're going to use this handy dandy egg beater, and we're going to mix it all up real good. We need to mix that very, very well and whip air into it because we want this to be light, but it's going to be lightened even further with the whipped cream. And the whipped cream is going to be cut in half because half of it will be for a topping and the other half will be folded into that mixture. We don't want to whip it in. We don't necessarily want to stir it. We want to fold it in, and it's okay to have some white streaks in there. And once that's done, cover it up and put it in the fridge. Now we're going to make a homemade graham cracker crust. You could buy store-bought, and I almost did it myself, but I had some graham crackers in the cupboard and decided to make it myself. The ingredients are all listed in the captions, and they're also listed in the description below. I wanted to add some cocoa powder to this because I wanted a chocolatey flavored crust. Not quite an Oreo crust, but you just put everything into the blender, all the dry ingredients, and keep blending until, or processing I should say, not blending, until everything's crumbed. Then you can add some vanilla extract to some butter, which is melted, and I'm using salted butter. You can use unsalted. Just add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then mix that up one more time and press it into the bottom of the pie plate. Now you'll notice it looks a little greasy. That's because I cut this recipe in half and forgot to reduce the butter by half. But all is fine and well. At Creative Cooking, I just used a paper towel to blot out some of the extra. You'll want to bake that for about 15 minutes and let it cool down completely. Then go ahead, take your filling out of the refrigerator and just spread it around. And you'll have fun doing this. You know, like the banana pudding recipe. Spread it around nice and even. And then you can put this back in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. You want to make sure everything hardens up. You can even freeze it, just don't freeze it all the way, or it'll get too hard and you won't be able to cut it. But that won't be enough to eat it just the way it is. We're going to take some of that reserved cream topping and we'll spread it on top of each piece, or you could just do the entire pie. And in hindsight, I think I should have doubled the amount of cream. I think that would have been a nice touch to put it on the pie up front. So put a cherry on top, and don't forget to come back each week for more great videos made for people who like to cook. Until then, bon appetit.